Hey guys, welcome to Laserhairremoval's YouTube channel. So today we actually have a special guest joining us, which is our founder, Shireen Forster. Not only is she the visionary behind Laserhairremoval, but she actually has her own deep connection behind why she founded Laserhairremoval, as she's also suffered with PCOS, and that's something that we specialize in. So I'm here with Shireen. Could you let me know a little bit about your experience with PCOS and how it heavily impacted your life?
Let me just basically start off by telling the audience exactly what it is. So it stands for, actually, do you know what it stands for?
Polycystic ovary syndrome.
Ovarian syndrome.
Ovarian syndrome.
Yeah, so you're close. Polycystic ovarian syndrome is a condition that 1 in 4 women have. And most women don't even know they have it. So what is it exactly? Now, women who have PCOS tend to get a higher testosterone level in their hormones, which is a male hormone. And that can cause issues with things like fertility, your skin. You can also get excessive hair growth, and the medical term for that is hirsutism, which means you often see women who have hair around the jawline, and that mimics a man, you know? So imagine as a woman, you're going through that. Like, imagine your confidence levels. And often, you know, with the NHS in the UK, they are in so much pressure that people with PCOS don't get taken really seriously. So you might have blood tests done, but sometimes it just doesn't get diagnosed properly. So if you have acne around your face, you're putting on weight, even though you might be eating well and exercising, but the weight is just still on, and also you have that hair growth, and you might also have fertility issues, it's probably likely that you have PCOS.
And when would you say you got diagnosed, or when did you start seeing certain symptoms?
So as I was growing up, I was quite overweight, and I did have a lot of acne on my face, but the biggest key indicator for me was my hair growth. Like, I would not wear shorts in PE. Like, my legs were super hairy. And you know I'm Asian, so I'm gonna have a lot more hair than someone who's white, for example. But I had girlfriends who were Indian, Pakistani, Middle Eastern, and they didn't have that much hair as me. And also, I had a really prominent mustache. Like,
okay.
I know that sounds funny to some people, but it was super bad.
Would you say it affected your life in school?
Definitely, I got bullied for it. You know, I used to walk into the class and people used to be like, you know, here's that mustache girl, and make fun out of me. And I was like, oh, what do I do? You know, I'm way too young for it. This started around like 15.
And what would be your advice to anyone out there that feels like they may have PCOS or that they're suffering of certain symptoms?
I would definitely say go and get a blood test and go and speak to your GP. Definitely say to them that you think you might have PCOS. So if you go in with that direction, rather than saying, look, I'm overweight, or I feel like I'm getting a lot of spots, you know, there could be so many different reasons why you could have overweight or having acne on the face. But I would say if you go into your GP with the direction of saying, I think I might have PCOS, then that's a good starting point for them to do the blood test they need to do, or maybe refer you to a gynae.
So when you started seeing these small symptoms within your body, what made you take the step to get laser hair removal, and how do you feel like that benefited your life?
I think the first thing that any woman does as soon as they turn maybe 17, 18, especially if your hair is like, I need to get rid of it. Yeah, get waxed, shave, but also just get rid of the hair. And for me, when I was shaving, because trust me, I started shaving pretty young, I used to get ingrown hairs.
And it's really itchy, and it literally grows back by the time you come out the shower.
But I would itch myself to the point where it would bleed, because my hair was that thick that when it was growing back, it used to get trapped and become ingrown hairs, which would then become like spots. So I had a nightmare when it came to shaving. Waxing was the same thing. You know, it basically gave me ingrown hairs. It was expensive and it was painful. So I was like, right, there has to be another solution. So I got laser hair removal. And honestly, it was a game changer. Like, my confidence went from hair to there. Like, I don't know if you've ever had like your full body waxed or full body lasered, and you come out and it's like, oh my God, you actually feel so clean. Yeah. And it was so hygienic as well, especially, you know, in the Hollywood area for me, because waxing nor shaving gave me that smoothness that laser gave me.
And how would you explain your experience when you first started looking into laser hair removal? Where did you go, or how did you realize that the Soprano Titanium was the machine for you?
So I first got laser it's probably going back 7 years now. It is tough. You're in London, there are thousands of clinics. So when you Google laser hair removal near me, you know, you're gonna get all these different clinics coming, and they use different type of machines. So I had no clue. I had no idea what machine was better than the other one. So naturally, what does anyone do?
Go for the cheaper option.
Exactly. So I basically went for like the cheapest option possible, because obviously I'm like a student then as well, and ended up going to like this clinic. Was a bit dingy, we're not going to name it, but they didn't use Soprano, they actually used like an IPL machine.
I can imagine that was really painful.
Yeah, but I didn't know the difference between IPL and laser. So I was like, okay, I'm getting a laser hair removal machine. And when she started, it was so painful. So I got really disheartened. Like I had a few patches, but I was like, I thought I'd get a better result. And I just didn't like the vibe of that lady. Like she literally opened the door, she would like get on the bed, yeah, change. Like didn't even like kind of talk to me, make me feel like welcome. Yeah, because this was my first time I was exposing myself down there. I remember when she was doing my Hollywood, I kept like clenching like my legs, and she was just like, listen, you know, I've got another client, like, and I was like, wow. Like,
you just didn't feel relaxed during your treatment,
definitely
basically.
not, no. So obviously I left that clinic, went to another one, didn't like it. And then I feel like it was the third or fourth clinic where they were using the Soprano ice that I was like, wow, I got the results. And that's when I fell in love with the machine.
What makes Laser Me Out different to other clinics?
So look, you know, with my journey of laser hair removal and PCOS, naturally for me, I wanted to help both causes, people who had both issues. And I found it really difficult to find a clinic in London that was specializing in one thing and did it really well. A lot of people who have Soprano Titanium or do laser hair removal also do a load of other treatments, right? So it's not something that they're really focused on or specialize in. The reason why I opened Laser Me Out was I wanted to open a laser hair removal clinic that was the best in the market, meaning we do the treatments really well, we know how to make the clients feel comfortable, and also we are affordable as well. Because let's be honest, the price is a major factor when you're getting this, right?
Yeah. So let's say you're talking to your younger self. Why would you advise your younger self to come to Laser Me Out in comparison to other clinics that may also be cheaper?
Well, the thing is, if you're going to go for something really cheap, hashtag Groupon, we all know what that does, and that results in disaster. If something is really, really cheap,
red flag.
Exactly. So you need to go for something which is a bit medium, right? So Laser Me Out isn't going to be the cheapest, but it is still affordable. So that means that they're doing something right and they're affordable, but they still have a certain standard, which is going to cost them money. But for me, I think I would read the reviews. Also, I think the consultation, like when you go in and see the clinic, you feel the vibe.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what I didn't do before, which was I would just call, book, and I would go and do my treatment. Whereas I think people should really go and see the clinics, because trust me, what you see online on the website can look very different to actually going to the clinic.
Looking at a website, you can't really tell the vibe of the clinic either, or what the therapist is.
So I remember I went to this clinic in Mayfair, and obviously on the website it looked super luxury. It was like in this dingy basement, and the room was like super tiny, it was dirty, and I was like, gosh, I already paid for this treatment. I wish I had come in and had a look at the consultation. Me now, I always like to go to family-run businesses, because I feel like when it's your name to something, or when people have put their name to something, they give their all, because it's their reputation.
Special touch.
Yes, their reputation. Like, you go to an Italian restaurant, which is like family-owned, you can feel like it's your mama's cooking, right?
Yeah.
And whereas when you go to like these big chains like Pizza Express, it's like they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They don't care. So I always like to go to businesses which are like small and boutique, because I know I'm going to get that attention to detail.
Hey guys, so we're just going to take a short little break.
So guys, did you know Laser Me Out slogan is keeping you smooth? But right now we're going to keep you hydrated. Are you? You're supposed to cheers it. Yeah, but after you open.
Oh yeah. Hey guys, we're just going to go for a short little break.
So did you know Laser Me Out slogan is keeping you smooth? But right now we're going to keep you hydrated.
So as you mentioned before, there's so many different machines on the market. What makes the Alma Soprano Titanium stand out, and why should a normal person go for that machine?
So it's the best laser hair removal machine on the market. Now, there's a difference between IPL and laser hair removal. IPL stands for intense pulse light. So that's not even laser hair removal machines. So you really need to know when a clinic is advertising laser hair removal, what machine they're using. And of course, you've got a machine like Candela, Cynosure, and all the other ones as well. But the reason why Soprano is so good is because it's got all the 3 wavelengths under one handpiece, and it's pain-free as well. But the biggest thing I would say is consumers have to be really, really careful nowadays because there's a lot of fakes on the market. I literally had a client come to me, I think it was 2 months ago, where she showed me a picture of the Soprano Titanium her therapist was using, and it was fake, you know, and she was wondering why it kept switching on and off as well. I really, really encourage all of consumers or clients that are looking to get laser hair removal, when they go to a clinic that has a Soprano Titanium, because that is the best laser machine, to look for this certificate. So anyone that buys a Soprano will get this like plaque, and that's basically an authenticity plaque from the actual makers to say this is a real machine, because you don't want to be spending thousands of pounds and potentially like burning yourself, right? Like if it's a fake machine, can you imagine the damage it can do?
Yeah, and probably you won't even get that good of a result.
You won't, definitely not. And you know, it's more and more common now, because if you actually Google Soprano, you'll see on eBay, they come up for like
£600.
Yeah, literally, it's just crazy.
Basically, long story short, do your research. So as you've probably seen online, there's been several clinics closing down recently.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's happening, and how can you promise to our clients that Laser Me Out differs to that?
I think firstly, a lot of people want to get into this industry. A lot of people want to open clinics and beauty salons because it looks very glamorous, and yes, there's a lot of money to be made. But the problem is that with skin clinics, for example, the reason why I believe they closed was they were jack of all trades. You know, if you looked at their treatment menu, it was like this long page where they did all these treatments, which were quite outdated as well. Like they never kept on trend, because this industry is moving really fast, and you need to make sure that you have the best equipment, the updated equipment all the time. So I definitely think that was one of their downsides, which was they had too many treatments, so they couldn't focus and specialize on one specific treatment. And also their marketing wasn't great, you know, like even if you went into their buildings, they were really, really old school. But so for us, this is why we're different, is we've stuck to one treatment. You know, our marketing, we know our target audience. We know what we're gonna give them and why we're different. And we've even brought out this technique called dry brushing, which is like amazing because it's so effective to do. I mean, you've had it, so you know how effective it is before the treatment. You get the results quicker.
To anyone out there that doesn't know what dry brushing is, can you explain the benefits of dry brushing?
Yeah, so just really quickly, dry brushing is basically exfoliating your skin before the laser hair removal treatment. And the reason why we do that is, as you know, anyone could have ingrown hairs. It might not be visible, but there could be hairs which could be trapped in your skin. So what the dry brush does is exfoliates it, gets the hairs out of the skin which are trapped, which means when you do the laser can actually catch onto those hairs as well. And the skin just feels nicer because you've got rid of that dead layer. So it's basically unique to Laser Me Out because I'm the one who made that technique.
If you found this conversation helpful, don't forget to subscribe so you can stay in tune. We're going to be posting podcasts every week.